Hello, mixtresses and mixters. This is Mixtressrae, and you're watching Mixtress Video. So today we're going to do a pick-a-pile reading, and it's kind of a quick and dirty one. I just sort of decided that I wanted to do it and set it up real quick, and let's do it. Sometimes I take notes beforehand and look at the cards, but this time I didn't. I mean, I kind of glanced at the cards. Sometimes I would see what a few of them are, but other than that, I didn't take any notes, and we're just going to have a little hangout sesh. So pick your pile. The theme today, I was kind of thinking about how I'd like to create my reality a little bit more. And what I mean by that is a lot of the time I've noticed psychologically with me, I let the people around me create the atmosphere, if that makes sense. If they want to be in a funky mood, I let them create the funky mood, and then I kind of fall into it. And I realized I don't want to do that anymore. Like I want to be a person that creates the reality. And especially in my own home, like I tend to, like when I'm by myself, I just sort of like dance around, do my autistic stimming thing, and like I'm totally happy and content in my own world because I feel like I've created it. Well, why can't I do that around other people? So I thought maybe together we could, I hope that makes sense as a topic for you guys. Just realized I want to use a different candle. I want to use this one. So that's going to be the intention of how to better create our own realities, create our own emotional landscapes instead of falling into other people's habits. That makes sense. You guys, my Star Trek hoodie is starting to fall apart. I have had it for like 10 years, so I guess that makes sense. Things do fall apart eventually. Okay, so we're gonna light the candle and we're going to be looking for take a moment, take a few deep breaths to set your intention. It can be whatever you want it to be. Let's actually like anoint the candle a little bit. I wish I had a dropper. Oh, I do. Just can't use the oil that I want. I have a dropper on this one. Okay. So we're going to use this purification oil because I want to use a dropper, basically, is the reasoning. We're setting the intentions of us creating our own reality, creating our own, not letting the emotions and the emotional landscapes of others dictate how we feel. So yeah, sorry. Pause if you would like to set your own intention right here. Okay. Now that you have kind of gotten your intention in your head, hopefully with regards to creating your own reality, what kind of reality do you want to create? What kind of sanctuary, landscape, wherever you go, if you were to bring an entire environment with you, what kind of environment would that be? So, I picked, okay, so you can pick based on the deck if you want. So pile 1 is Wild Unknown, pile 2 is Vision Quest, and pile 3 is Modern Witch. Every deck is going to have its and a corresponding oracle deck that I think works, a corresponding oracle card from a deck that I think works with that particular tarot deck. And each person's going to get a dark goddess card. That's what this one is here. So you're going to get 3 tarot cards in the main part of your reading, and then the dark goddess is also a tarot card, but it's also going to kind of be your goddess because there's a goddess on each card. So each person's going to get a goddess, each person's going to get 4 tarot cards, and each person's going to get an oracle card that corresponds with the tarot deck. So pause and take as much time as you need to set intentions and choose which pile you want, and then we will move on to pile 1. Okay. So I chose Animal Spirit with pile 1 because, you know, it's also a Kim Cranz deck. Oh, Dolphin. And then, okay, so we got Hag of Earth, She Who Watches. Hag of Earth is pretty much the same as King of Pentacles. So we got the Sun, Strength, and Daughter of Cups. I might want to change this angle so we can get closer to the cards. Hold on. Okay. And just so you guys know, my cat Collie is pawing under the door right now, so she is here for your reading, pile 1. Okay, so we've got 2 Major Arcana cards and 2 Court cards. We've got water energy here and here, earth energy here, and fire energy here. So you've got lots of fire, lots of water, and a little bit of earth. So as far as like creating your own reality, pile 1, I think it's going to involve whatever your personal style of healing is that is associated with water, I think. So maybe a bath can help you create your own reality, help you put your mind in the right mindset to start controlling your reality a little bit more. I think there's a certain level of expressing your emotions and expressing your joy. Be more free with expressing your emotions and joy. Because to others, you're going to look like this gorgeous dolphin spreading your, like with both this card and this card, we have like, you're sort of spreading your rainbows out into the world. If you allow your emotions to flow, they will infect other people in a good way. Because you've gone through some shit before. And I feel like for some of you that picked pile 1, sometimes when you're around people that have been with you when you've gone through some really deep stuff, some really difficult stuff in your life, you have a tendency to go back to those moments, if that makes sense. Like, how do I word this? I feel like for some of you that, like, you have ride or die friends that have been with you through thick and thin, you have a tendency when you're around those friends to kind of go back to that persona of who you were before you went through some of those things. And you're not sure if they're going to accept you if you are your true self that you are now. But I think this is telling me that they are going to accept you. Like if you let your true light shine through you, you're going to be abundant. You're going to attract everything that you want to attract, and they're going to accept the new you. Like just because they've been with you through some really, really hard times doesn't mean that they expect you to be in those hard times. Or there's some people in your life that kind of like, you know, those people that are sort of drawn to drama and like they are really helpful for you whenever you're in a really dark place, but they kind of don't know what to do with you when you're happy. If you're resonating with that, those people are people to leave behind. You need to be around people that you can share joy with. So this is all about joy, sharing your emotions, sharing joy. You're going to get through all the things that you need to get through. I think this is like the opposite of toxic positivity. You know what I'm saying? It's like, for you, sharing in that joy does create your reality. For you, focusing on the positive really does help you. It's not a situation where you're denying the truth. As far as like the goddess here being she who watches, I actually don't know what that means. Let me pause and go get the Dark Goddess guidebook. I should have brought that in here anyway. Okay. Chinook Stone Chief. Remember history or more will be lost. So I'm going to put this here just in case you want to read any of this. I'm going to read some of the when she who watches appears. Put your trust in what is known to last through the years. The world is changing. Bear witness to what is happening. Carry the story and pass it along. carry the memory, and honor what came before. Conscience is a responsibility that lasts a lifetime. There are answers in the past. Dig beneath the surface of what you remember. So yeah, there's a little bit of like reflection involved here, both with the Strength card and with this Hag of Earth. Like, there's all this happiness around you, but obviously there's some darkness that you've gone through, and it informs who you are now. Like, who you are now is not the same person that you were before all this stuff happened to you. And that's normal. That's totally normal. But you have to be able to be who you are now around the people that you choose to surround yourself with. And part of being who you are now is being a happier person, being a more integrated, whole person. So don't be afraid to express that. I think that's the main advice for you guys in pile 1. Okay. That is pile 1. Pile 2 is with the Vision Quest Tarot. So let's get started on that one. And I picked an Everyday Witch card for you guys. So you got Meditation to Dig Deep. So this is an Earth card. And then your Goddess card from Dark Goddess, Witch of Earth, Inanna. So I need to look up. I still don't have this memorized, and I really should. What is Witch? Is Witch Knight? No, Witch is Queen. Okay. So in a normal tarot deck, Witch of Earth would be Queen of Pentacles, which is funny because we just got King of Pentacles in the last pile. So this is about identity for you too, just like it was with pile 1. And then your Vision Quest tarot cards. We have 2 of Earth, Change, 10 of Fire, Oppression, and 5 of Water, Loss. So that's essentially like 2 of Pentacles, 10 of Wands, 5 of Cups. So for you, I'm going to kind of organize this in a way that I think is the more linear progression for you guys. So you've gone through loss. This is your 5 of Cups moment here. This is in the past. And where you are right now is you're kind of, I don't really like the keyword oppression for 10 of Wands. I would call it overstimulus. Although if you do feel oppressed by all of the things that you have surrounded yourself with, yeah, okay. For some reason, I'm just getting a vibe of like, it's time to purge. It's time to get rid of some things. It's time to move. For some of you, you're going to be moving soon. And you're going to have like a strong desire to leave a lot of the physical items in your life. A lot of, and even people, maybe people and things, you're going to be leaving them behind. So this is sort of an encouragement that like, yeah, getting those things done, going through those boxes, or when you're packing up, only packing. It's always, I really hate moving, but one of the things I love about moving is that you really get into that mindset of, well, I don't even care enough about this thing to pack it in a box carefully. So obviously I don't care that much about it. If I don't care enough to pack it in a box and move it across town, then obviously I don't care about it. So I'm letting it go. So it always, I feel like this is probably the case with everybody. Don't you end up getting rid of a lot of things when you're moving? So I think even if you're not moving, this would be a good time for you to, and this is, I feel like this is going to be sort of a spiritual experience for you, going through your things and deciding what you really, like, be honest with yourself. When was the last time I picked this thing up and used it for its intended purpose? When's the last time I wore this pair of pants? When was the last time I whatever. Insert here. When was the last time I read this book? You know, there's some sort of sacred purge going on here, and it's going to mean more for you. I feel like for some of you, you've put off this task because of losses in the past. Like, I'm reminded personally, I had a natural disaster. A tornado in 2011 totally destroyed the town that I live in. It destroyed my house. It destroyed many of my family and friends' houses. There was lives lost. Thankfully, everyone that I know and love is okay. But because of this past of like personal loss, like I didn't have a choice with the items in my life that literally blew away or were completely destroyed. I didn't have a choice. But so because of that, there are a lot of people that have gone through that experience. Because of that, they tend to hoard now because they didn't have a choice of letting those things go. So they're going to keep everything that comes into their lives now. And I think there's a certain level of that might be resonating with someone. Like if you've lost everything in your life to a fire or some natural disaster, and that led you to cherishing all of the things that you have in a way that's holding on to them beyond their usefulness. Like there are other people that could use some of those things that you're not using. I think we all sort of in a capitalist consumerist society, we tend to hold on to things and we tend to value things sometimes for the wrong reasons, I think. And obviously, only listen to what I'm saying if it resonates with you. I'm not trying to place a judgment on you if you aren't using all the things that you own. But lately I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos of people doing book purges. And I'm not a person that I don't have a whole lot of books. I mean, I do have a decent amount and I work in a library. So I have sort of the general mentality that if I want to read something, I can just check it out from the library and give it back. Like that sort of community reading thing. A book belongs to the community. I sort of have that mental outlook about books, and I haven't bought that many for myself. But lately I've been kind of acquiring more books. And I really like watching people get rid of things. I love purge videos. I love deck purge videos. I love book purge videos. I love seeing people going through and just letting things go. It is beautiful. And I think this 10 of fire moment for you is literally drowning in your own stuff. But anyway, sorry, I'm very distracted. I think that must be part of your process right now. There must be so many things going on that you're just constantly distracted. There must be so many things around you that are calling your attention that this is an invitation to take it from a 10 to a 2. You know what I'm saying? To take all of those things on your to-do list and knock off all of the things that you don't really need to do so that you're only dealing with a couple of things. You know what I'm saying? Because your Queen of Pentacles moment is not about having all the things. It's about having all the things that actually mean something to you. So we've got a lot of earth here. We've got 1, 2, 3 earth cards, 1 water and 1 fire. So for you, this is about physically doing something. It's about limiting the things on your to-do list, not by doing them all, but by deciding which ones you don't need to do in the first place. That is your first step. That is your moment right now. What actually needs to be on the to-do list? Because this is the point where you can balance the things that you need to do. We also just looking at the symbolism here. We have a sun and a moon in this card, and here we have the sun setting in the background and we have the moon in the background here. So this is literally balancing where you are now with where you have been. And part of that is letting some things go. It's deciding to say no to some projects or take it back. You said yes to too many projects, perhaps. So cancel some of those things because you don't need to do all of them. Get to a point where you feel like you can, to get to this point where you can actually balance the things that you want to do, you're going to have to let something go because you're overwhelmed right now. And some of that, for some of you guys, it's about getting rid of physical objects in your life that are starting to make you feel claustrophobic and oppressed. You need to reclaim some physical space in your life. For some of you, it's about you're saying yes to too many projects, to too many like community events. You're on too many boards. You're like you're just doing too many things because you really genuinely get excited about things and you want to help people with things, but there's sort of like a disconnect between you practically being able to do all of those things and be sane while doing them, and there's a disconnect between your excitement at doing things and your actual ability to accomplish those things. And it doesn't mean that those other things don't matter. It just means that someone else has more energy to devote to them right now. You've got to prioritize. There's definitely a level of like prioritizing, getting rid of things, saying no to more things, just reclaiming some of your time and space and reprioritizing. Really dig deep. Do a meditation to dig deep and figure out what it is that you really need. I feel like there were like several trains of thought that I just sort of like let them go. And I think that's part of this process too. Like, I'm not meant to sit here and tell you all of the thoughts that are going through my head because there are too many of them. So I need to prioritize which thoughts I need to tell you that are going through my head right now. And I think I just need to leave it here because speaking of creating realities, being in your 10 of fire moment right now it's a little overwhelming, and I understand why you're really feeling bogged down. Like, there's something about where you are now that is because of what you've gone through, this loss here. Like, you feel like if you don't do all the things, like maybe someone in your life literally passed away and you took on some of their responsibilities, either in the family, like psychological support, like maybe the mother in your family is gone now and you assumed her role, and it's not really for you to assume, but you feel like if you don't do it, no one's going to do it, kind of thing. This is really saying that you don't have to do that. You have to even if you are going to sort of step into that archetypal role in your family, you need to do it your way. So there's definitely like a readjustment period going on right here. And I feel like I could hang out with you guys all day, pile 2, but it's going to be too stressful for me. So I'm going to need you to say no to some things, and I'm going to need you to let some things go because I don't want you to be in this stressed moment any longer. You don't deserve to be here anymore. Okay. I feel like for some of y'all in pile 2, I'm like, you need some extra guidance, maybe. I don't mean that in a bad way, but like, I feel like I could talk to you guys some more is all I'm saying with that. But I do need to move on to pile 3. So with pile 3, we have Modern Witch Tarot, and I also picked the Begin Oracle. So your Begin Oracle card is Secret. And your Dark Goddess card is the Moon, which is Aryan Rod. So I actually don't know much about Aryan Rod. And then your tarot cards are Lovers, Devil, and 5 of Wands. I think it's more like this. I think, yeah. Okay. So this is interesting because the Lovers and the Devil card are opposites. So as far as like, if we're looking at this, again, we're looking at this as a focus on creating your own reality, bringing your own emotional landscape to any environment so that you can control your environment better. So I think for you, it's literally about turning the devil into lovers. It's literally about turning fear into love. It's like very basic kind of stuff. And there's like a little bit of deep soul searching and uncovering of your own personal demons, which, is present with the Moon card and the Devil card. And the Secret card is telling me that there's literally a secret that you need to let out of this bottle. There's something that needs to be, and because this reading is for several different people, this could either be a secret that you need to share with loved ones, family, friends, or the person that needs to hear it. Like maybe it's not even necessarily your secret, so you feel like it's not your responsibility to share it, but it's something you've been holding on to for a long time and it's festering within you. You know, like, yeah, I feel like for somebody, it's like, it's not your secret to tell. However, it might need to be said. So it might be a situation of like, go to the person whose secret, like, okay, so this is just like a very basic example. So this might not be the case for anybody listening, but just to illustrate my point. Say you saw a friend's significant other cheating on them, and you know it's not your secret to tell, and you don't know if you should tell it or not, and you're kind of being eaten up by it. Like, this is really showing that you're being eaten up by it, and you don't know what to do. Like, these are two sides of the same coin here with the Lovers and the Devil. They're meant to be opposites. Like, which path do you choose? Which way do you go? But the way that you go is whatever is going to uncover that shadow, whatever's going to uncover that secret. So it could be in that scenario, like, I would say the best advice, if it were literally that scenario, is go to that person that you saw cheating and say, look, I mean, this is, ultimatum moments aren't cute, but sometimes they're necessary. And be like, look, either you're going to tell them or I am. You know, it really should come from you and not me. And there could even be a scenario where you're worried that this person isn't going to believe you if you do tell them what's going on. So for some of you, it's like someone else's secret. For some of you, it's your secret that you need to let out. Like, you need to come out of, I mean, for some of you, it's like a coming out moment. Like, it's to the point where you need to know who's your friend and who's your foe. Sorry, I didn't mean to rhyme, but you need to know that. And in order to know that, you're going to have to tell your truth. And it's going to be very scary. But once you get to that space, once you let that truth out, you're going to know beyond a doubt. Oh my God, I'm rhyming again. So for some of you, you're going to need to write a song about it, obviously, because I'm unintentionally rhyming my words right now. Yeah, so for some of you, turning these awful moments in your life into your life's purpose, it's gonna require some soul searching. It's gonna require some secret telling, or maybe even for some of you, it's secret keeping. You know, like, for some of you, like, you know what the secret is, whatever that secret is, and you need to decide for yourself if it's a secret that is causing you, if keeping this secret is, okay, here it is. If you're keeping this secret out of fear that others aren't going to accept you if you tell it, or that others aren't going to believe you if you tell it, or if you're keeping it because you're afraid of something, then it's time to let the secret out. If you're keeping it out of love for someone else, or you're keeping it, I mean, like, okay, and again, another literal example, just so I can kind of try to tell you what I'm trying to say here. If you personally know, like, that your best friend is trans and they're in the closet, or your best friend is gay and they're in the closet, that's not your secret to tell. And if you are keeping that, you're keeping that secret out of love for them, because they need to choose their own time to come out. You know, that's up to them. So if you're keeping a secret out of love, then keep that secret. But if you're keeping a secret out of fear, if it's your own, if you're the one that hasn't come out about something yet, and the only reason you haven't come out is not because you're not, if you're not coming out because it's not safe for you to do so in your current situation, obviously, don't do it. But if you're not coming out because you're just kind of afraid that the people around you won't accept it completely, but it's not actually going to harm you. If they don't accept it, then hey, do it. Those people, fuck them if it's not going to work out. Fuck them if they don't understand you. I hope that makes sense. This is all about assessing whatever it is that you're keeping from yourself and keeping from others, because this is about uncovering shadows and uncovering secrets and uncovering things that need to be uncovered. You know what I mean? So you just have to figure out what those things are for you and find ways to uncover them, because when you do, you're going to be a more integrated self. You're going to find the people that you relate to. You're going to find the people that, once you start telling your truth, you're going to find people that are your soulmates in life, whether those be friends, family, chosen family, all that stuff. You're going to find your people if you tell your truth. And for most of you, that you don't even necessarily know what that is yet, because that's why this moon card is here, because it's about really digging into your psyche and figuring out what it is that you need to share with yourself first, and then you'll figure out who else you need to share it with. It's yeah. I hope that all makes sense. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just go ahead and stop here, and got some major themes today. I think we had major arcana cards in each. Did we? No, we didn't have a major arcana card in pile 2. But we had 2 major arcana cards in pile 1 and in pile 3. So we're all dealing with some major psychological shit at the beginning of 2021. And that is understandable, for sure. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.